Hello everybody, welcome back to the gaming table. Today we're going to do just a little review of this little game, Fates of Madness. So this is a single player, cooperative, could be dungeon master just driven game. It's whatever you want it to be. It is card driven, and what it is you're going to take a group of adventurers either through like some different locations, fight different creatures, eventually get to the boss and see if you can defeat the boss as a group. Very fun. So that's the box. Now, what do you get in your game? A few things. 32 tarot cards, 77 poker-sized cards. The cards are made up of equipment, some spell scrolls, potions, some treasure cards, character cards, monster cards, scenario cards, and boss monsters. So this is a complete adventure in a box. I don't know if they have any expansions to this yet. The ad in the back kind of gave me the impression there maybe is some more stuff to pick up. I don't know if these are just enhancements for either Pathfinder, Starfinder, or 5th edition, or if this is, I'm not quite sure. But it looks like if you go to the website, which I haven't done yet, they might have some more additional things, because I think this is really fun. So the short review would be, good game. Once you kind of figure it out and get past the rule book, it works very well. It feels more like a role-playing type of game, an adventure game, versus say like a Pathfinder adventure card game. That's a beast of its own. But if you want something that just feels more like an adventure dungeon crawl type of thing, this is a really good game. Now, to get into the long, kind of drawn-out review, if you will, I picked this up simply because when I was at Origins, I was looking for something that would be a card-driven, maybe dungeon exploration, fantasy type of game that used tarot-sized cards. I really like the extra large cards. And I did not know of any game like that. So as I was wandering all the vendors and booths, nobody knew either. And actually I just found this box on a whim, and it happened to say co-op or single player, which is kind of what I was looking for as well. And then it mentioned the tarot-sized cards and other cards. So really, it kind of seemed like a win-win-win. Plus, looking at the character art, I thought, yeah, this is a fantasy game. Perfect. So just to kind of give you a rundown, I have this laid out for a single-player game. Single player for this means you run all the characters, and you should really take about 4 characters with you, because that's what it's set up for us for. And trust me, you want all 4. Now, when you get your starting character, has some characteristics like melee attack, their archery. This is their, I forget if that was like intelligence. And then down here is like willpower for like clerics. Then they're going to come with a couple of equipment cards. Your fighter types are going to have like armor, a weapon. I got a ranger here. He's got studded leather armor, a longbow. And in addition to the stats, it has hit points and their proficiency, but they can use because they can pick stuff up later. And then an ability, like this one here is Smite. And then they have this nice little hit point tracker. The way it works is you got hit points right here, and as you take damage, you can just move it along this track. That way, you don't have to use dry erase markers and things like that. It's just a nice, simple bookkeeping system where everything you need to play is right in the box. So I also have here the Witch. She came with a spell scroll and a potion. And I got a cleric that has chainmail and a mace. Now, how you order your party makes a difference too, because certain creatures will attack in player order. Like it might start with the attacks on player 1, possibly could start with attacks on player 3. Most of the creatures attack either position 1 or position 4. So my wife and I, when we're playing, we tend to put the people with armor in positions 1 and 4. However, sometimes you get a creature that likes to attack the middle stuff, which is your weaker, like wizards and things like that. Then what you do is you're going to draw a location. So I've got three cards: Fate, Treasure, Potion, and the location. What you do is you draw a location card. That's going to let you know if you're fighting a creature, or, I'm going to peek ahead, there are locations. To fight a creature isn't too bad. First, they have a hit point value as well, and they have their own hit point tracker. So it uses the same thing. It's got this little marker. I pointed on the 19. Creatures attack first. this Fate deck. This is what you do all of your combats and all your rolls from, essentially. Since there's no dice, you just flip a card, and that's going to let you know that number is like their attack value. So this creature drew a 2. Now, if you draw from the Fate deck a card that has a skull, then you would use the red side of the attack. So the creatures actually have 2 types of attacks. This first row is the physical attacks, the blue. If you draw that skull, then it will make a magical attack, and it's got different values. So it has defense of 4 against physical attacks, defense of 2 against magical attacks, so your party members can use physical or magical attacks. Then if it attacks, it either does 4 physical damage or 5 magical damage, or potentially who it attacks. So this case, see, this is a creature that will attack creature or party number 4. If party member number 4 is dead, it will then attack 3 if you roll on this red side. And what it does is, some of these have like several numbers, like the order in which it will attack. So it might say, I'm going to attack slot 4, but if slot 4 is dead, I'll attack slot 2. And then if slot 2 is dead, it just attacks in the next numerical number of the sequence. So if 2 was dead and 4 was dead, it would attack creature or party member number 3. I mean, it's not complicated. I'm probably over-explaining that. But again, if I drew the skull, I'm attacking the red side. So this would attack party position number 3 with magic. So just a little simple AI. And then if you kill the creature, or if you draw an event card, which we'll look at, there's you can have the chance to draw a potion if you make a difficulty check. Each of these checks, it's a little blurry. It is blurry. But it'll say DC, so that's your difficulty number of 4. So you'd have to draw a Fate card, add the appropriate stat that's listed here, and if you get a 4 or higher, you're good. Only problem is, when you are drawing your cards, if you draw a 1 or a 2 for a skill check, that's an automatic fail. But luckily, or if you draw a skull, it's an automatic fail. But luckily, if you draw a 1 or 2 or a skull during combat, it just counts as a 1. So it's not terrible for combat, but it is for skill checks. Then if you're going to do here, let me set the camera here. So if you do an encounter, I think I can unzoom here. So if I find this encounter card, it has a little story. It has the boss difficulty. At the end of the adventure, once you've cleared your 3rd location, you add up all your boss difficulty numbers, and that tells you which boss you're going to fight. When you get to a card, here's an event. So if you have a character with the stealth ability, they have successfully avoided this event. Everybody else has to make a difficulty check to avoid that. Once everybody has cleared the event, you can do an event action. So you can use your stealth to search and get a treasure, or make a check. If you fail, you take some more damage, but if you succeed, you get a treasure. So every card is like that. Also, if you don't want to use your one post-event action or post-creature action to do one of these events, your characters can use their special events. Like a cleric can heal somebody as their action. There's one, the wizard can like make a potion after a battle. So your characters have some things they could do too, trade equipment and whatnot. And then in battle, you pretty much get like one action. So you can either attack, or you might be able to hand equipment or a potion to somebody as an action, and then that person can equip it. So it kind of really feels like playing D&D in a way. You get like one action, and then the next person goes. So overall, the mechanics are fairly simple. It's just a matter of getting it all straight together. I was just shuffling some cards around. But that, in a nutshell, is the game, Fates of Madness. So I say again, short review. I recommend it. It's fun. It plays fairly quick, but it does give you that feel of adventure and that you're doing stuff. So check it out. All right, thanks for watching the review. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.